Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Can everybody hear me okay? I am off screen because I look like death wormed over. Um, yeah. So, yours truly. I was off screen for half of Karen Reed and was sorry for all the mix up. I couldn't sleep last night. It's been a day. Um, I couldn't sleep last night. Welcome in, Kitty. Thank you for being here, honey. On last notice, you made a live butterfly. Welcome in. Well, I was supposed to do all day Karen Reed. Honestly, I was too tired because I was up. I couldn't sleep last night, and I was forced to take melatonin to try to get to sleep, and still couldn't sleep, and still woke up early, and I'm zonked from I can't take that stuff without being totally zonked. It just if I take it and I don't sleep, then I'm done for. If I take it and I get a really good sleep and I sleep it off, I'm okay. But didn't happen that way. And yeah, I was so wound up last night between Karen Reed. That trial is sorry, y'all. You just have to look at me like this. This feel weird talking off screen the whole night. Um, that trial is something else. That trial is wild. So that and then Lilly and Jack, and my head was just a lot of things that have happened behind the scenes that I can't talk about. My head was just spinning. So, hence the warning from my guides. Like, I get bored so easily, and yeah, I get bored. And so, anyway, there's so much going on with Lily and Jack that I want to just do. We're not going to do a reading today. There is no way I'm going to be able to do a reading today. I look fucking awesome to this blind person. Thanks, butterfly lady. I definitely look a little worn out today. There's no doubt about that. You haven't slept much either, Ren. Oh, thank you for being here. How come, honey? How come? Hey, Chris, you waited, sweetie. Glad to see you back in. So I effed up the routine. Welcome, Chris and Katie, the two mods. I effed up the routine today because I thought I was going to nap after I jumped off Karen Reed and didn't do the afternoon, and then I would still be okay for 5 and couldn't nap. So I'm just like beyond exhausted. So if you were looking for a reading or for cards, I have not had any more downloads on Lily or Jack. I did reach out to the RCMP. I was trying to get more last night, and I was just so exhausted and so overwhelmed. I couldn't get any downloads. Just couldn't focus. And then I realized that you cannot report anything regarding the missing children via email. So I had to wait till they were open this morning. And oh, you kept waking up all night. You too, Aaron. Sorry, honey. I don't know. My oldest daughter, she's a nurse. She can an ER and runs a clinic, and she can do all nighters. Well, it's wearing on her now, but doesn't need sleep. Like I am not that person. I never have been. So anyway, I did call the RCMP in Canada regarding Lily and Jack this morning, and I basically, said, "Hey, I'm just calling regarding Lily and Jack. Um, I'm a volunteer with the Find Me group. I know the RCMP's worked the Find Me group before. I am a psychic medium, so I'm not sure if you're interested in hearing what I have to say." And she said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, no worries, no worries." And so I gave her the information. She said she'd have the detective in charge call me back. I have not heard back yet. But I have emailed, I told her what I feel has happened. That was this morning. And then we're going to play a video here because Deceptive Detective literally came up with the exact same theory. If you missed yesterday's lives, of what they pulled, we'll replay that. Then I've got a few videos to play because Deceptive Detective literally said exactly what I called out on the reading. And then Joseph Morris put out a video earlier today and literally confirmed the other part of what I read in the reading. So I still have them being alive. I told them that. I told the officer that today who answered the phone, the female officer. I still think they're alive. So it's just interesting. So I thought I moved the live tomorrow with when I'm going to try to either channel this child that came into me once in spirit or do readings with cards. We're going to do that tomorrow. Yeah, I'm hoping, Ren. I hope they'll take me seriously and call back because it's been a day. I'm going to tell you more, and it's I don't I'm gonna say it, Kitty. I'm gonna say it. Um, and just text me and say stop if I need to be stopped right now. Um, it's yeah, I hope they call me back because it's been a day. Not only am I exhausted, um, I just feel so effing disheartened by how much I'm so shunned in the true crime community. It's just it's just sad for me, you know? It's just sad for me. And so I don't know if you guys noticed, Smiley World posted a post. Uh, no worries, no worries. Nice to see you, Reserve glitching. That her child uh is missing. Um, and that I saw first thing this morning, and I responded back, "Hey, do you want any help with that?" And it was deleted. And I posted it again and took a picture and it was deleted. I've talked to Kitty about it. I sent it to her on her cell phone. She can attest to that in the chat. And I thought, wow, that's super interesting because she watched Kelly Snyder when he was on 2 weeks ago talk about the Find Me group and she liked the video and put prayers on it. And I just think like, wow, 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 wow. Like, is your daughter really missing? Because it just like people are so it's like I feel like I'm like back in Salem and being witch hunted. Like it's very disheartening. It's very hurtful. Um it's hurtful. It's triggering for me because I was outcast my whole life. But you'll see in my astrology if you come tomorrow at 2. True, says Kitty. This is true. Um, so, she deleted it. So, like, your child's missing and you have time to delete my post within seconds of it being posted. I'm literally sitting in front of my computer like I'm doing now, having my coffee this morning, posted again, it was deleted. Kitty posted something, it didn't get deleted, just mine, twice. So your child's missing and you're so embarrassed about a psychic posting willing to help that you'll delete it twice. Like, make that make sense. Like, it's okay. I know, sweetie. Sometimes I need to talk about it, you know? Sometimes I need to talk about it. And you'll hear tomorrow. And if you're there for I'm helping my daughter go with my granddaughter since I'm just not going to do Karen Reed because my guys were right. Yeah, I'm so sick and tired of it, Chris. You know, I blocked Jen, Astrophomistics. I blocked her. Um, I'm not doing any collabs. I am so discouraged. I'm not talking shit. I'm just telling you my truth. The first time I spoke to her, she told me multiple times, Jen, that she doesn't believe in psychics. Then she all wanted to be on my show, and the minute she gets accepted into the Find Me group, doesn't want to be in my show anymore. I'm sick and fucking tired of the games. I am, and Tara did that too to me. I'm just being honest. I'm not trashing anybody. I'm just telling you my truth. And I'm not fucking helping anybody else get into the Find Me group and make a connection and then be dished and shit put aside. Like I'm tired of the fucking games, even from so-called spiritual people. I'm done. And then fucking Dolly gets up there while his pedophile fucking brother just lived in the room next door beside him not long ago. I am sick and fucking tired of these fuckers. Excuse my language, but I have yet to find one YouTube creator that I would sit beside in a fucking room, that I would hold my breath for underwater, that I would do anything for. I don't fucking trust one of them. Not fucking one of them at this moment. Excuse my language. Not one. This is my truth. And this has been going on in my brain for so many months. What did I walk into, says Tina Girl. We're going to go to Lilly and Jack in a second. I'm just telling you all, when you send me emails about all these other YouTubers and all these other collaborators, and here's an email and here's a I've talked to Seth and told him to call you, and please, for the love of God, don't. If you watch tomorrow in my astrology, I am meant to go solo, and I just want to go solo now. You all I love you all. You're welcome to be here, but I don't trust one darn creator anymore in the Sebastian Rogers realm, and I want nothing to do with any of them anymore. I am so done like dinner. So don't talk to me about other creators. We're not talking about them in the chat. This is my final notice. I am not collaborating with anybody. I've been there, done it, made mistakes. I'm done. I'm done. Thank you, Chris. You're very sweet. So I'm going off camera now because I'm not here to rant. I didn't even plan on saying it. I wasn't going to say it because this is not me, but I just need to let you know that sometimes when I'm off screen, I'm also having a hard time. It's hard to be rejected constantly. It's hard to have people just dismiss you, who don't even talk to you, who don't even know you, who steal your videos like Mob Crew, tell everybody that my videos crap and discredit me, but won't even take the 5 minutes to email me so I can show you where I got it before you dismiss me. I've emailed Brittany J. I've emailed Bullhorn Betty multiple times. I've been deleted by Tony. I've been hung up by TBI. Like, I'm just done with it. There is zero integrity in this community left, and that includes Seth Rogers at this point. For me, I am, I'm done protecting everybody. He sent a form into the Find Me group, but he didn't fill it out. Okay, so he has to fill it out if he wants us to work on the case. So at this point, I'm done covering everybody's ass. I'm done. I am so done. So we're moving on to Lilly and Jack now. And if somebody asks me why I'm not working on Sebastian Rogers, you have the answer. Okay. Right now, I'm just done like dinner. I am done like dinner. Okay. So we're going to go back now that we get back on track. Oh, Chris, I'm just, so anyways. Many content creators started questioning the preface and they started supporting it. It's done. I'm done with all of it. So it's okay. I'm just tired of it. It's like, again, if you stick around tomorrow, because I was too tired to do a reading of Jack and Lilly, I do want to show my reading yesterday. I want to compare that to the Deceptive Detective. And then I want you guys to see a couple of other updates that also sort of validate the reading. Tomorrow, I'm going to go with my daughter. She's going to go to a wedding, and my granddaughter, little baby Rory, who is not 8.5 months old, getting dresses for them. So I'll be back. I think I posted for 3:00 to do Lilly and Jack, where I'll just do a reading, because it just became like there was too much information to do a reading and get caught up in information. So I'm tired today. We're just going to go through the information. Tomorrow at 3:00, I'll do a reading for Lilly and Jack. And then I've got it forwarded for those that want to stay on to ask me questions on how I work and all that other stuff. What's that, honey? There's a lot of what you're experiencing going on. Oh, it's just, I can't. Thank you. I just can't. So, anyways, I think I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I'm tired of it. I'm just tired of all the fakes and the phonies in that group. It does, Ada. So well, you know what, though? I think it's more the mom. I think it's more the mom now, but let's watch. So let's pull up my reading. Did everybody here? Why don't you put, there's 46 of you here. Truly feel spiritual battle. Oh yeah, sweetie. Absolutely, Chris. When you were away, I did I don't even know, you might have been around for that one, where it was validated that there's definitely stuff, finicky stuff, fussy stuff, daddy stuff going on. So listen, would you want to listen? Actually, we're going to do it. I'm just not going to ask you because it doesn't make sense to not play it. The one that I did yesterday, I'm just going to fast forward to, the cards, because it's so interesting to now, after the cards, to listen to the theory of the detective after all that. Okay, so let's listen in, and then we're going to watch
this
her video.
channeled
Not
child that I was given, I got goosebumps, given a vision of. I got goosebumps. He'll probably be back. It's kind of what I'm getting from my goosebumps. He'll probably be back. Okay, let's see what happened to Jack and Lily Sullivan, please, Spirit, and then we're going to see where they're at, because I got Uncle Larry.
the same way. I put boundaries up.
What happened?
Thank you, sweetie. Thank
Okay,
you.
so justice or karma. Does that mean that that's going to be served? Stay positive, and it will be served. Is that what's going on?
High vibes.
What's happened to Jack?
So this happens to me sometimes too, which, if anybody has questions about it tomorrow, there are times where it's really helpful when you guys make suggestions in the comments, because I was like, this time, I don't know if somebody said it, but like, it's hard to focus on the chat. And that's why I say I get more accurate readings when I'm not on live, but I love being on with you live. Anyways, the point being, I got off this and really realized, like, high vibes. Like, I'm thinking of the hippies and the flowers. Mom's high. Mom is high as a kite, I think. I pulled that off and pulled that up and got that after I got off the live. I'm like, oh shit, I missed that piece, That's what it is. Anyways, I sent that to the RCMP, and then don't I hear, well, we're going to hear it later, that there was it was maybe a drug house, okay? Just allegedly, in my opinion. Let's just keep listening.
Jack and Lily. Happened to Jack and Lily here. Some sort of a meeting. What's happened to Jack and Lily?
Yeah, Tina girl.
Family meeting. Okay, family.
Well, guess what? Family meeting. You're going to see in a minute. There was a party at the house on the Thursday. Okay. Apparently, if we're to believe what's being reported now, which we're going to watch soon, there was a party at the house on Thursday. Now, was there a meeting that happened during the drug party? I'm not so sure. But I did pick up. Can't remember if I did that in this or if I did that after I got off. And I sent to the RCMP. I can show you what I sent them in an email. That they disappeared out the front yard the day before. They did not disappear Friday. They went out the front door on Thursday. That's what I'm picking up.
It's important. Uncle Larry, I heard Uncle Larry. Uncle Larry. What happened to Jack and Lily? Caregiver, medical staff. Caregiver. What happened to Lily?
I'm going to fast forward.
A family caregiver. Somebody that is a family caregiver is what happened. That's all I'm getting though so far. Let's keep going. What happened to Lily and Jack, please, Spirit? What happened to Lily and Jack? Underground? Is that tunnel or underground? I hope that's not underground. I think I'm zeroing in on the underground here.
I think I also
there's some DNA evidence somewhere.
Sorry, I also figured out, I'm just going to remember to say it when I'm thinking of it, because the coffin comes out and I was like, but they're not dead. What is the coffin? And then I realized autistic when I was watching a video that we're going to watch soon come up. And I'm like, oh my God, I think there might be in a box underground because of like they're seeking shelter. I think the overwhelm of the noise. I don't think really run, because yeah, I don't follow other people, but yeah. So yeah, and as it turns out, I'm not going to play this whole live because I was on for 2.5 hours last night. We researched, and there are underground railways. So I have sent that to the police, and I think they were in the underground railway heading towards a mountain. And they did say they were going to Uncle Larry's barn. Now, I don't know if that's the name that this guy just gave them, as Uncle Larry or if this is a legit uncle. But there is an uncle in the family that doesn't have the name Larry. We're going to watch it soon in a video that has a past with the police. And there's a registered offender that just got out of jail 10 days prior that lives 10 minutes away. So keep watching. Don't leave. Got a lot
Okay, let's go one more of this deck and we're going to pull another deck. Imprisonment. Well, they're not imprisoned, but potentially kidnapped, captured.
Imprisoned. So
Why do I feel like I'm just, okay. This feels like I'm pulling on the Finding Group case that we just got. Okay. I'm going to be really clear with my guides here, which case we're working on, Jack and Lily, because this tunnel and imprisonment is a case I just did with the Finding Group. I'm not sure if that's coming out for that reason. Let's get one more. Life insurance. No, there's something about
life.
Okay. What is, I want clarifiers on this tunnel. I'm going to get clarifiers on all of these. Let's do that. I'm going to get clarifiers on all of these cards. Okay. Give me a clarifier on justice, please. Well, that's what I'm going to try to figure out, Ren. Give me a clarifier on justice, please. Justice. Somebody's not going to get their wish. Okay, so somebody's got a hidden wish that they're not going to succeed. They're not going to get. Somebody's not going to get their wish. Give me another clarifier on that about this justice. Somebody not getting their wish. Okay. Queen of Cups.
Wins.
It's got some sort of hidden, needs an end of a cycle, life change, end of a cycle. This is the mom in reverse. This is the mom in reverse.
Not
okay. So mom.
I don't know who that is.
Mom.
I don't know who that is.
Somebody's not going to get their wish. Who is? Give me more on this Empress. I want more on this Empress. Who's not going to get their wish? We got a Queen of Cups and the mom. We got a mom figure we're zoning in on here. We got a mom figure we're zoning up on here. Cover up, just flip over.
I think it's
we got a mom. Mom the hiding things. It's mom the one hiding things. Is mom the one? Okay, we got a female here. We got a female. We got the female, but the spirit's focusing in on mom here. Okay. What is going on? Caregiver, mom, high vibes, family. I'm going to pull these out in a minute. I'm going to pull these back out in a minute, but I want to know, we got some upside down, some life relationship. Somebody felt imprisoned. That's what it is. That's what it is. Somebody felt imprisoned. Wow. Does this sound familiar? Does this sound familiar? OMG. OMG. She could hold up. She could hold them, I think she said. She could hold them. Give me more on this cover up, mom, please. Backstabbing and betrayal. Hidden backstabbing and betrayal. Hidden backstabbing and betrayal. Okay. Hidden backstabbing and betrayal. We got that. We're focused in on mom here. We're focused in on mom. Hidden backstabbing and betrayal.
An underground, yeah, like an old
King of Cups, of a King of Pentacles, rather, of him. There's something going on that's being covered up over their relationship. Okay. She is hiding and covering up some betrayal of him. He's the bad actor. Let me just make sure that I'm right with the pendulum. Let me just make sure. I'm going to pull out the pink one today. I haven't used this one in a while. Okay, Spirit, am I getting this accurate? Yes or no? Not to the benefit of my ego. Just so you know, I'm holding it up like this for those that are curious. Okay. Am I interpreting these cards correctly? Mom knows that stepdad did something to these children. Yes or no? Not to the benefit of my ego. Look at how fast that's going. Look at how fast that's going. Mom knows. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Again. Okay. Whoa. Sorry, I'm making y'all dizzy. Okay, so mom knows dad is covering up a lie. Yeah, mom knows. It does sound familiar. It sounds very familiar. Mom knows dad's covering up a lie. Hence why mom left, potentially. I forgot to ask that. Is that why mom left? Is that why mom left? Yes or no? Not to the benefit of my ego. Is that why mom left? Yes or no? Not to the benefit of my ego. Yes. Does mom suspect stepdad of doing something to the kids? Yes or no? Not to the benefit of my ego. Does mom suspect stepdad of doing something to the kids? Yes or no? Not to the benefit of my ego. Yes. Is my name Bob? Ren, you know what? Bio dad has not been talked about at all. Thank you, Whispering Winds and Kitty, for being beautiful.
Okay, so I have since heard that Bio Dad, Grizzly, True Crime. No, it wasn't Grizzly. Who was it? Somebody reported that apparently Bio Dad's in jail. So we've got imprisonment on the deck, on the table, right, today. And if you followed me before, you know that I don't normally take the first reading as verbatim. I'm looking for patterns. So before I come to a conclusion, which is what it took me over 100 readings to do with Sebastian Rogers, because I just had to sit and try to put the pieces together. But yes, I heard that too. I don't know, Donna. I still get underground train rail, but I have to zero in more, and I can't do that in this current exhausted state. So we're gonna Hater's gonna, hey, oh, thank you, sweetie. Thank you for that. That's very kind. That's very kind. Are you a new member, honey? Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I get it, but it still frustrates me sometimes. That's all, especially when I'm tired like today.
Beautiful and being here as mods. I appreciate you both. Thank you. Thank you, Tina. Bio dad is in prison. God almighty.
There we go.
Okay. We got stellar families, you know? Stellar families. Oh, sorry. Was that
No,
judgmental? Yes, it was. It wasn't very high vibe, was it? Okay. So let's get after some more.
Don't be afraid to throw them out. If I get a little if I sound a little snarky, I'm tired today. But no, don't be afraid to throw out ideas. Like I said earlier, it sometimes can trigger, like, I'm not going to get it right. And if anybody ever tells you that they're a psychic and they're always right, they're full of it, full of SHIT. So this, I got wrong yesterday with the imprisonment. I'm like, she felt imprisoned. Now, there might be two meanings to that card. It might be that mom did feel imprisoned or was worried about him, her safety from him, but there's something came out today you're going to see. Probably the real reason is mom. Yeah, was anyways. So we'll look at that a little bit. But yeah. Yeah, thank you, Rocky. Yeah, she surely didn't make it look like it. I mean, every single person in the comments said, "Oh no, Smiley," like she didn't make it look like it wasn't her daughter, but I couldn't understand why she would post that and not do a video about it. And it didn't feel like it was authentically her daughter either. So thank you for that clarifier. Still doesn't excuse deleting my post. I'm just not gonna. I'm subscribing and not. I want nothing. I'm not trying to engage with. I'm not collaborating with anybody again. Just done like dinner. But thank you for that. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, sweetie. Yes, welcome, Marcella. Thank you. I know we got a couple newbies here. Okay, so I'm not going to play all of this, like I said, because if you want to watch it all, you can go. It was last night's live. It was 2.5 hours. This is our new case right now until we get this resolved. I'm going to do Karen Reed part-time. And then should any updates come on with Sebastian Rogers, absolutely we'll do updates, but I'm not doing Karama updates. I'm doing like real updates. So
about what mom knows. Mom knows. Okay. Mom knows. Okay. Not a happily ever family. Not a happily ever family. Happily ever after, rather. Okay. Something happened. Tower. Something unexpected went down. Now, can we get to the heart of what unexpectedly happened, please, Spirit? I'm going to get clarifiers on these other ones. I want clarifier on the family, please. Let's get some of these. And then we're going to figure out what the heck happened here. What's going on with this family? What is this unexpected tower? Dolphin, you said it earlier, the tower. Yep. Change. Okay. Unexpected change in the family dynamic. So were they splitting up before? The leader of the house, unexpected change in the leader of the house. Okay. Is that dad? Let me get, something was going down in their relationship maybe before the kids went missing is what it seems like the cards are saying. Somebody is forging a loan ahead. Somebody was forging ahead.
Yeah, I do. And I did say that to the RCMP. I do believe that they were already separated before this went down or going to be separated, that the relationship was in a very bad state prior to this.
Interesting. They were no longer in alignment. I didn't realize this had fallen out. So they had really no longer in alignment. So very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so let's get this hidden DNA. Where is this hidden DNA? What is this hidden DNA about? What is this hidden DNA? Chain of events. Look at this chain. DNA. Okay. There is some DNA that they're going to find. Arrogant, boastful person you shouldn't cross. Okay. She's worried about upsetting him. She is worried about his temper, and that's why she's gone to her parents' place. Is she in a retreat? Is she worried about him?
I still believe she's worried about him being aggressive potentially, but I don't think she's innocent in this by any means.
Let's get some more. Give me more on this DNA. Whoops. You fell. You all fell. Sorry. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. You all have a headache. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. She took a reprieve. But what's this vacation? Did somebody go somewhere? Did somebody leave town? It looks like I'm just getting that she needed a break, but she doesn't want to cross him, which is why not happy. Not happy. Okay, so we know
think
they
they
did not
both
have a
did,
family,
Donna. I
a
think
great family
mom
home.
and
There was
dad.
no
Mom
love lost
and
between the
stepdad.
two of them.
But I think more
She
clarifiers.
got good advice from a wise person. Okay.
Oh yeah, she got good
Yeah.
advice from a wise person. Wow, thank you, Donna. Thank you. Well, apparently she's not talking to police as per her mother's advice. Isn't it crazy? When I think I'm going to start to do it this way because there's so many things that I've gotten wrong without a doubt. It just is just plain factually, it's and again, nobody would ever tell you that you are 100%. Anybody worth their salt would never say they're right 100%. It doesn't exist. But I think Kelly said average is 65, and when I was passed for tested with the Find Me group, I was given an 80% accuracy. And I have openly stated here with all the trauma with my dad that I did not feel as strong, but that's coming back now. I'm totally getting it back. And I told Kelly, I think I'm pretty close to where I was when not quite, but I'd say 75%. But what I didn't do with Sebastian is I didn't track my readings and then the news. And today we're going to go through what I found today in videos that are validating this reading last night. But I didn't know it. I didn't know you just heard me say that somebody got sound advice, and you're going to hear the report that somebody made on Facebook that in the Facebook community that her mother advised her not to talk to police. So the mom is currently not talking to the police. Interesting.
What is this high vibes about? What is this high vibes about? We're getting down to, I got medical staff meeting internal. We're going to get clarifiers on that. Then I'm going to move on. 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups.
Oh, I did say it.
High vibes, 5 of Cups. High. Were they high? Okay. Because this is my drunk and high. This is my drunk and high card. Were they high? Is somebody on drugs? Yes or no? Not to the benefit of my ego. Is there an element of drugs here involved in this case?
I forgot.
Is there an element of drugs here involved in this case? Yes or no? Not to the benefit of my ego.
I forgot.
Is there an element of drugs involved in this case? Yes or no? Not to the benefit of my ego. Yeah, but the pendulum, yes, but it's not moving super fast. So I think they are a drug. I'm going to just get clarifiers. Are they drug users? Yes or no? Not to the benefit of my ego. Are they drug users? Yes. Does this have anything to do with the disappearance of the children? Yes or no? Not to the benefit of my ego. No. Okay, I didn't think so. They are drug users. Okay.
So what I was referring to when I was doing that was, are the drugs the reason for the children's disappearance? And that I'm getting no when I'm thinking that. Did you get the feeling they've watched videos on Sebastian and Summer? Oh, I haven't asked that yet, sweetie. But I'm not pulling cards because I'm off screen today. I'm too tired. I'm in bed. I'm not pulling cards tonight. But if you come tomorrow, we can ask that. I'm going to do Lily and Jack at 3. Yes, that's exactly right. And it's been suggested in a video we're going to watch soon. I'm not going to play much more of this. I just want to show you that actually what I pulled last night, I found today in the news. So because I was going to validate by doing another reading tonight, I will do another reading tomorrow at 3 instead. I'm just going to watch these news clips that I found today and videos from other creators that validate, including Deception Detective, rather, what my theory is and what came out in the cards last night. We're not going to listen to much more of it, and then we'll listen to the videos.
Get what went down at the meeting. What the heck is this meeting about? Who was at the meeting? Okay, so this meeting was to discuss leaving somebody out, leaving somebody high and dry. This meeting was discussing leaving somebody high and dry. Were they separating? Was this a divorce? Was this a divorce? Is this meeting about they were separating and going to be dividing assets anyways? Was this a separation, not divorce because they're not married, but were they going through legal separation? Yes or no, to the benefit of my ego? Were they going through legal separation? Yes or no, not to the benefit of my ego? Did they go through legal separation? They were already going through separation. Wow. Oh, wow. This sounds like stepdad got mad she was leaving him. Did stepdad seek revenge because mom was leaving him? Yes or no, not to the benefit of my ego? It's going no. It's going no to the right. My pendulum never goes to the right. What the dang is that? My pendulum never goes to the right.
I've this first time in years my pendulum's gone to the right.
Okay, what? I have something wrong. What do I have wrong about this? Do I have this accurately? Yes or no, not to the benefit of my ego? Do I have this accurate? Yes or no, not to the benefit of my ego? Yes. Did stepdad do something for revenge because stepmom was leaving him? Yes or no, not to the benefit of my ego? Yes. Is my name Bob? No. Stepdad did something because mom was leaving him. Yes or no, not to the benefit of my ego? Okay. That's a yes. Sorry. That's a yes. Just about knocked over with the pendulum. That's a yes. Okay. So is stepdad, sorry, I should have just kept it out. Is stepdad the caregiver we're talking about here? Is stepdad the caregiver we're talking about here? Yes or no, not to the benefit of my ego?
It's going right again. Is it going to go right? And my pendulum never goes right.
Yes.
I'm so confused.
Okay. Now let's get to this tunnel. I'm going to clean all this up.
It did.
Because
I don't know, honey.
this is not good. Let's get some clarifiers on that. Let's get some clarifiers on that. I got to open the door. Y'all just bear with me a second. I got to open the door. Okay. Okie dokie. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. Sorry. I got to put these back. Man, that is hurting my neck tonight. Okay. We got to get more on the DNA too. I want to get more on this DNA. Okay. Gonna get more on this DNA. The scent dogs, they did not say whether the scent dogs picked anything up, but they did say they moved the search still into the same areas, but away from search into like finding into was it recovery? So let's see. So let's find out about this tunnel. What can you tell me about this tunnel, Spirit? What do we need to know about this tunnel? This tunnel. Okay, these all fell out. So what do we need to know about this tunnel? What do we need to know about this tunnel? Not prosperous. What is this referring to? Give me some clarifiers to the tunnel. I think they're, wow. Mountains. There are mountains in the area. Does this mean they've been buried underground? And then I got to go find out about my vision, who this Uncle Larry is. Just bear with me. Does this mean, as in the baby isn't his? The DNA hits me as in the baby. These are not his kids, by the stepdad's kids. Are they under the ground? Are they under the ground? Yes or no, not to the benefit of my ego. Are they buried underground? Yes or no, not to the benefit of my ego. Are they buried underground? Yes or no, not to the benefit of my ego. No.
Okay, I'm going to move it on because I don't want to play the whole thing because I am doing way more reading, taking more time doing readings than I actually remember. But I want to play. Hang on. Let me get the right one up. I want to just show you their property, a couple of videos. Because this is, I mean, oops, this is kind of sad. This is Evil Exists. It's just a short one. I'm just going to play a few videos. Some are going to validate what we just saw that I pulled yesterday, and others are just pictures. And
Jack Sullivan are still missing, and sadly police are scaling back their search efforts. They say that there's a very low chance of the kids being found alive after all this time. If they were in the woods, then that means they were exposed to the elements, and they are very young too. It's absolutely heartbreaking, but I feel the case will take a more investigative approach now. Police wouldn't elaborate on whether they think foul play is involved or not, but it doesn't seem like they believe Lily and Jack were abducted. The mother and stepfather have made statements that have raised my eyebrows, and I can't shake how some of their statements resemble that of Chris Watts. Anyway, today I was shocked to see over 30 photos of the house. It is aerial photos, and we can clearly see this glass sliding door the children walked out of, according to the stepfather and mother. They said this door was silent, and the children even closed it behind them. How silent could the door be when closed?
Yes.
Maybe by some miracle, the door was absolutely silent and the kids got out. There is another major problem with their version of events. The backyard is fenced in. The fence is clearly seen in the pictures, and extends right around the yard. Did they kids climb over the fence and vanish? The state of that yard reminds me of the Summerwells case. Items thrown all over, and doesn't look like a place where a 4- and 6-year-old should be left alone, even for 20 minutes. Looking at these pictures, I can't fathom how the children disappeared from that yard. The neighbors are far apart and this is a very rural place too. I stand with authorities in their belief that the children were not abducted. Someone coming up to that rural house, taking the kids, and driving away, doesn't seem likely in this case. I think there is an entire piece missing. The kids weren't at school since last Tuesday. That means they could have disappeared days earlier, leaving plenty of time for the guilty parties to get rid of evidence. I'm glad there is so much public pressure on this case. I have faith authorities will get answers very soon.
Yeah, so there's that one. Let's play another. And the brother and the mother also, I know, just like in the Wells property, that property alone should be cause for those kids to not be allowed back into the premises. I mean, seriously, can you imagine what it looks like on the inside? I'm not trying to be judgmental. Well, Ren, we're going to see that. There's a video I'm going to pull up now that shows a little bit more. Let me just see if this is the video. Oh, that's not the right one. We have a bunch of audio to listen to if you want. We'll listen to this first. It's a short one, and then we've got a bunch of the audio from the police, from the dispatch, which is interesting as well. Watch
in the sticks of northeastern Nova Scotia in Pictou County. The parents say the kids were allegedly playing and then poof, they're gone, vanished into thin air. And the only clue left behind is a boot print on the edge of the property. Aerial photos, a mysterious dispatch call, substances found in the home, a deleted Facebook video.
See that? There are holes in the fence. Now, how long ago was this taken? We all know Google's way outdated. So, I mean, did they patch that fence? I still told the police officer, and you're going to see in this video, that I thought that I feel front yard and I feel the day before. And only to find out, Joseph Morris is going to show us here, there was a party there the day before, apparently.
And whispers about who's really living on this property have the internet buzzing. Sleuths are piecing it together, and the details are wild. The parents, Malaya Brooks Murray and stepdad Daniel Martell, say they were in their bedroom tending to their 18th-month-old when their girl, Lilly, age 6, and boy, Jack, age 4, slipped out a back door so silent, it's like it was greased with butter. They thought they heard the kids playing, with Daniel Martell even saying he saw Lilly poking her head in and out of their room. But when the house went eerily quiet, that's when they knew something was wrong. So let's unpack the strange details that just emerged. These aerial photos are raising some serious eyebrows.
Yes. Yes. Like we're all saying in the chat, it's not like I want to be judgmental. Like that just reeks of people that are stoned and high all day and neglectful and don't give a crap. Yeah, it doesn't look good. It's not a good look for mommy and daddy.
Guys, look, the missing kids from Nova Scotia, Lily and Jack Sullivan, aerial photos of the home have been released. And tell me what you notice. The mom and stepdad are saying the kids went out the sliding door to play out in the back and either wandered off or got abducted possibly. But look, the backyard is fenced in. They also said the sliding door is really quiet when it opened, so they didn't hear it, but it doesn't look like it would be quiet to me. Here's another photo that shows the front of the house, so you can see the back is entirely
looks like that door might be squeaking.
fenced in. And I highly doubt a 4-year-old and 6-year-old child would have climbed over the fence to wander off. Now you see the camper there. Apparently one of their brothers lives in it. And you can see it doesn't even have a roof. It just has a tarp on the top. Look at this. There's garbage and junk all over the place. The red flags were already popping up with all of their contradictions and weird interviews. But in my opinion, this might be one of the biggest red flags yet.
Yeah, and I would have to agree with that. I really hope the police opened that sliding door to see if it really does not make any noise. The photos show a cramped, cluttered property, and people
Yeah, the photos show a junkyard, literally.
saying there's no way 2 kids could slip out that back door without somebody noticing. The images are circling online, and the top comment doesn't hold back, writing, "The place looks like a dump. It doesn't look like it's safe for a child to be living there." Personally, I echo the sentiments of the commenters. It does look like a trap house filled with substances. Children should not be around. A neighbor wrote that, quote, "They live 500."
All I have to say when I saw the property was like, oh, cripes. the US already hates us Americans, right? The Americans rather already hate us Canadians. Like, this is not helpful. This is not representative how most Canadians live. Just going to put that out there.
100 feet away from me, eh? I didn't even know kids lived there. I thought it was a rug house. Cars are always coming and going, end quote. They recall a day, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. Their memory is a bit fuzzy. When the driveway was packed, a day, maybe Wednesday going, end quote. They recall
this is from the neighbor. This is a text. They live 500 feet from me. I didn't even know the kid. No kids live there at all. I thought it was a rug house because of YouTube. But there's always cars there, and it's so odd to me because I can't remember clearly if it was Wednesday or Thursday. Oh, I'm sorry, if it was Wednesday or Thursday, but there were so many cars there on that particular day. The driveway was full, and a car was even parked on the side of the main road. Okay, so my cards said meeting. I'm wondering if that's a party meeting or what was going down. I'm not sure. It was like 2 p.m. at the latest. I remember driving past, judging them, thinking how they were probably in there sharing a crack pipe. I shouldn't laugh. It's really not funny. But I'm also laughing because when I read this morning, I think I was half asleep. So my memory was, I forgot about the Wednesday, and I thought they were, I mean, he is saying they're having he's alluding to there being a party, but he's not saying for sure it's a party, but it's definitely an illusion with so many cars there because it's a long laneway, as we can see, that one of the cars had to park on the road. So I'd call that a party. Definitely sounds like a busy place, but probably, and they're sharing a crack pipe or whatever else, LOL. And then boom, Friday, this all comes out. So, you know, I felt when I tapped in energetically that they left through the front door. They did not leave alone. They were attended to and brought by Uncle Larry by hand, walking to somewhere. And this was the day before, it is what I tapped into. Like, they had a good head start before they were reported missing. In other words, I think this was a plan.
thought it was a rug house. Cars are always coming and going, end quote. They recall a day, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. Their memory is a bit fuzzy. When the driveway was packed, cars even spilling onto the main road at around 2 p.m. They thought they're probably in there sharing a pipe or whatever. Then, as you know, Friday hits and Lily and Jack disappear. Another source claims, quote, the mother has already been rug tested and removed from the home. RCMP and Department of Community Services and Child Protective Services strongly recommend.
Anonymous participant author, April Van Snick. The mother has already been drug tested and removed from the home. This is not proof, of course. This is just reported in the Facebook community. RCMP and Department of Community Services and Child Protective Services strongly recommended that she leave the dwelling. So she's tested drug. So I picked up last night, and this video, when was this video released? 5 hours ago today. You can see, hang on, let me move your comment. This is Joseph Morris 5 hours ago today. Last night, I said, hey, are there drugs going on in the home? So again, not factual, but it sounds to me like a pretty, based on the neighbor who's commenting, sounds like there's some possibility that this is true because mom is gone. And the RCMP, when they did their news update, I got the vibe that they knew they were okay with her being gone. So like they were not alarmed. Like they're not running her down with a manhunt right now because she's left. They don't consider her to be a fleeing risk at this point, allegedly. So what's going on here? My first thought before tapping was, is mom on the run? But that's not really what's going down here, I don't think. But mom is also not talking to the police right now, apparently. So let's see. But so the RCMP, Department of Community Services and Child Protective Services strongly recommend that she leave the dwelling. Drug paraphernalia was located inside the home along one of the vehicles with one along with one of the vehicles. I cannot speak on who owned the vehicle or what exactly was found, but I can confirm that drug paraphernalia was located at the residence. The mother and the baby were removed to a secure location away from the property. I also picked up that as much as mom may not be all that innocent, that she thinks he's aggressive and maybe concerned about his propensity to get angry and fly off the handle and get violent and aggressive. That's just what I'm picking up.
Recommend that she leave the dwelling. Drug paraphernalia was located inside the home along with one of the vehicles, end quote. The last day Lily and Jack were at school was on Tuesday. Wednesday was a no school day, and Thursday and Friday, Lily had a cough and both of them stayed home. Has anybody seen them since Tuesday? I mean, could the parents have been buying time to clean up their story after what went down at this?
Lily had a cough Wednesday or Thursday. Thursday is where the day I think that they left, but it could be wrong, could be Wednesday, but I don't think it's Friday. I think they reported it later to give them a head start.
Party. Now the mother's Facebook video is the only one she posted on her Facebook before she deleted her whole account after her children went missing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Lily, stop, honey. Yay! Happy birthday!
Say happy birthday.
In earlier interviews, Malaya Brooks Murray, the mother, mentions both kids are on the spectrum. And you can clearly hear Lily screaming in this video. A commenter wrote, "Kids with sensory issues surely wouldn't be out in the woods for long before they got uncomfortable and wanted to come home."
Yeah, did we not learn that about that with Sebastian? The parallels to this case, Sebastian and Summer Wells, is wild to me. It's just interesting.
Wet feet, noises, wind, dirt, they'd hate it. So it's hard to picture Lily and Jack silently trekking through the wilderness undetected. And now for the dispatch call, which I think pokes holes in the parents' story. The mother says she only heard Lily and Jack around the house, but the stepdad swears he saw Lily, age 6, popping her head in and out of their bedroom while he was with his wife, tending to their 18-month-old baby. After they stopped hearing their children in the home, they realized that their children actually disappeared. That's when the 911 call went out at 10 a.m. But the dispatch says the kids were last seen at 8 a.m., which is a conflicting report.
In the bedroom, we called this morning, and they haven't been seen since then. I need to get a good statement and figure stuff out.
The dispatcher said that he was told they were last seen at 8 a.m. So the stepdad told Global News on May 7th that he estimates it took them up to 20 minutes to notice the two children were gone Friday morning. So that's around 9:40 a.m. because they said that they called the...
I mean, even 20 minutes is kind of discouraging, no? Like, it took you 20 minutes to recognize your kids were missing. I mean, and that's not even the truth. That's the scary part. That's the really concerning part. Like,
police at 10 a.m. So there's about an hour and 40 minutes discrepancy between the two reports. The stepdad was brought back in for questioning. The RCMP is scaling back the search, saying there's a low chance Lily and Jack are still with us. The major crime units are now involved, calling it suspicious, but it wouldn't comment on if there's foul play. Cadaver dogs might be next. The stepdad told the Globe and Mail, "My story has been consistent. When you tell the truth, it's always consistent," end quote. Prior to this questioning, tensions flared when Malaya Brooks Murray and her mother, Cindy Murray, confronted Daniel Martel outside their home, holding him responsible for the children's disappearance. Malaya has since left Lansdowne Station to stay with her mother in another part of the province and has blocked Martel on social media. Sleuths, though, are side-eyeing a scratch on the stepdad's face in his recent interviews. Then there's the stepdad's brother, either Justin or Ralph Martel. It's still not been confirmed,
Listen
but
to
the
this.
brother is
Listen to this. Remember the imprisonment card I pulled up? And I said mom felt imprisoned. Well, I think that may be true, but I think this is definitely true.
living on the property in this trailer with his mother. And here is the stepdad's brother, Justin, searching for the children on an ATV and looks surprisingly relaxed. Like, this caught some sleuths off guard. Like, why is he just kicking back and relaxing when those children are missing? And sleuths have discovered that one of his brothers, who may be the one living in the trailer, we don't know yet, Ralph, has a rap sheet. So in 2020,
So this hair color, but longer and scraggly out the back, does energetically feel like could be the person that I was shown in the vision. Different name, though. Different name.
3, the RCMP's got a warrant out for him over some messy relationship drama, and the charges are pretty severe. Sleuths have also dug up that a known predator who is high risk was recently released just 10 minutes away from their property. And get this, the dispatch call mentioned a strange bald guy around 50 years old with a mustache lurking nearby, and someone dialed 911 over this suspicious character.
So you're calling 911 from a Karen Ponacao. Kindly about 5 minutes. She was reporting just driving past a black Honda CRV. Nova Scotia marker Golf Mike Clock 320 that left the outdoor recreational park close to the residence. It is permanently closed. Complaint is unsure if related, but it felt a bit strange to her. Driver was a white male around 50 years old, bald with a mustache.
So the cops investigated this 911 call of this suspicious person, and it was just brushed off.
Black SUV just north of the residence and on the left side of the road. Does not appear to be a CRV, but it is a black SUV. I mean, it didn't run, but there was nobody in it.
Everything was done for it. Nothing suspicious about it.
So was this a mistake? Maybe, because it's got people wondering if that call deserves a second look.
Listen, I have not. What's the brother's name? Let me go back, because it's not Larry. It's definitely not Larry, but I don't know. Let's go back. Ryan Martel. And I'm just trying to close my eyes and visualize him from the back, and it feels like it could be a match, but longer hair. I'd love to know what his hair is like now. And they didn't show me the front of his face, but like the way he looks almost hunchbacked and thinly, like, and the hair, I don't know. I'd have to tap in, not when I'm so exhausted, but Justin. Yeah, it's Justin. So let's go back in. I'm going to fast forward it a bit because I don't want to get copyright.
Warrant out for him over some messy relationship drama, and the charges are pretty severe. Sleuths have also dug up that a known predator who is high risk was recently released just 10 minutes away from their property. And get this, the dispatch call mentioned a strange bald guy around 50 years old with a mustache lurking nearby, and someone dialed 911 over this suspicious character.
So you're calling 911 from a Karen Ponacao. Kindly about 5 minutes. She was reporting just driving past a black Honda CRV. Nova Scotia marker Golf Mike Clock 320 that left the outdoor recreational park close to the residence. It is permanently closed. Complaint is unsure if related, but it felt a bit strange to her. Driver was a white male around 50 years old, bald with a mustache.
So the cops investigated this 911 call of this suspicious person, and it was just brushed off.
Black SUV just north of the residence and on the left side of the road. Does not appear to be a CRV, but it is a black SUV. I mean, it didn't run, but there was nobody in it.
Everything was done for it. Nothing suspicious about it.
So was this a mistake? Maybe, because it's got people wondering if that call deserves a second look in connection to Lilly and Jack's mysterious disappearance. So what do we have? A single boot print at the property's edge is the only clue. The stepdad says it was 2, but the RCMP is sticking to 1. And they're not even sure if it's Lily's or Jack's. The parents are pushing an abduction angle, saying their kids are super friendly with strangers. So I can't help but wonder, was someone at that packed Wednesday or Thursday party involved? Should that 911 call about that creepy guy have been dismissed? What do you think?
Okay, what do you all think? What do you all think about that? I'm going to pull up one more video. Was Michael at their party? Who's Michael, honey? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not doing cards tonight if you're coming in late. I'm too tired. It is all extremely suspicious. And I don't think this case is going away anytime soon, regrettably. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully they find them soon. But they haven't called me back like they said they would. I don't really know if they're still in that same location. Too tired today to do readings or tap in. But I will do a reading and tap in tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern on Lily and Jack. And then 5 o'clock, I'm going to forward that stream over to the 5 o'clock one. If you have any Q&A, we can continue Lily and Jack there too for people if they want. And just Q&A, and I'm going to just tell you how I get messages and whatnot, because you guys were confused. I put a poll up, and I think 91% said, yes, you want to hear more. So that's at 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. One of the brothers' names is Ralph. Yeah, there's more than one brother for sure. So we're going to do one more video tonight, and then we'll call it a night. But this one, I don't have, you know what? No, we've got two more. I hope I didn't miss getting the video I wanted. Just bear with me, please and thank you. No, I wanted to pull up the December. Okay, so this is Plunder. I do want to listen to this one because but there's another one first. I'm just going to look for it because I forgot to send a link to myself. But I do want to listen to, yeah. Okay. Let's watch. This one I have not heard. He just did a new one, so I'm glad I'm looking. I have not heard this one, but I heard the one he did yesterday. They're both short, and he basically confirms my theory in yesterday's version. So we'll listen to both of them, and then we can do Plunder tomorrow, or we'll start it today if you want.
If you have anything, come out as fast as possible. Get it to any detachment or any police service that you have available to get to talk to. And Jack just absolutely loves bugs, dinosaurs, anything like that. But Lily loves girly things, but she also loves doing everything with Jack. Bugs, they're like best friends, not just brother and sister.
That's Daniel Martell, and I think he knows what happened to his missing stepchildren. It's not just because he's already talking about one of them in the past tense. So in today's video, let's watch his interview with the Canadian press and count the red flags. I'm Deception Detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis. This channel exposes lies and manipulation. So if that's your thing, hit subscribe. For early access, exclusives, and other cool perks, consider becoming a channel member. Link in description. If you're not familiar with this case, don't worry. It's brand new, but it is developing quickly. So before we grab our deception decks and start analyzing Daniel, here's a quick recap.
6-year-old Lily Sullivan and her brother, 4-year-old Jack Sullivan, are still missing in this rural area of northeastern Nova Scotia. The RCMP is the lead agency here, along with EHS, hundreds of search and rescue crews from Halifax to Cape Breton. During the daytime, there are anywhere from 100 to 140 search and rescue crews in the woods. A spokesperson for the Chignecto Central Regional Center for Education tells us the two children were students at Salt Springs Elementary School. Their stepdad told us they'd both been out sick all week before disappearing on Friday. The school has additional support staff on site at Salt Springs if anyone needs that support. Meanwhile, the search will continue into the night here in the Lansdowne area of Pictou County for Jack and Lily Sullivan.
Those are the cliff notes, and as you can already see, the red flags are flying. We have 2 preschoolers reported missing from their home in rural Canada on Friday, but they haven't been to school for the entire week. We have a non-biological male, Daniel, in the house with small children, which is heavily correlated with child abuse. And we have a mother who didn't exactly give me the warm and fuzzies when I analyzed her in my last video. I won't rehash my analysis of her. I'll link that video at the end. But here's a quick clip just so you can get a gist of it before we get to Daniel.
And I want them home. What happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them. And they happened to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew, it was quiet. And we get up, and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call.
I can see why so many of my subscribers commented for me to analyze this case, because we're about to have a royal flush of deception deck cards here. But beyond the red flags in the deception deck, I don't like some of the other things she's doing here. For instance, she's setting up her and her boyfriend's alibi by telling us that they must have been sleeping at the time. But if she was sleeping, how could she possibly know that he was also sleeping? Couldn't he have been awake and done something to them while she was passed out? She never seems to consider that as an option at all. And this lack of curiosity or suspicion about a non-biologically related father in the household with their children could be explained a lot of ways, but one of those ways could be that she actually knows what happened, so she's not curious about what he may have done. Obviously, there's a lot more to that video, and I'll link it at the end, as I said, so you can watch it next. But for our purposes right now, that's the important part, that she didn't suspect him, even though they were both sleeping. And as we listen to him right now, we'll consider it equally suspicious if he's not at least a little bit curious about her. All right, without further ado, let's listen.
You know, they took their boots. That's pink boots for Lily, blue boots for Jack, with dinosaurs on them. Lily had her backpack with white, and it was white, strawberries on it. I imagine now if they're in the woods, that'd be probably brown, but I don't see them carrying their backpack. I don't see them keeping a pull-up one for that long after it got soaked from the very first day.
Yeah, they neither one of them looks emotionally distraught. I think they both know what happened myself, but I have to do some more digging. We're going to do that tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern.
They found the 2 boot tracks outside of the house.
Whereabouts?
Right beside the house, probably 10 feet away from the backyard.
In the backyard, okay.
Nothing new, other than the helicopters are still in the air.
And you know what? This is probably truthfully the way I'm going to have to do this case. And it's actually, I really like it because it preserves my energy, because I can't do live readings every day, all day, because it's just energetically draining. But I also like being able to compare with what I'm finding with what's going on in the news. It's kind of cool to keep up with it, so I can track myself as we go through the case. And I can do lives more often with you all. So
they took around the dogs today, and as of last night, there's 8 more drones going on in infrared.
I do the poll.
I urge the public to come out if you have anything, come out as fast as possible and get it to any detachment or any police service that you have available to get to talk to.
We've analyzed dozens of interviews of parents of missing children. And over the course of making those videos, I've recognized that innocent parents tend to do 7 things when they have the opportunity to get on TV or talk to an audience. I call it my missing child presser interview checklist, and I haven't had to update it ever since I made it almost 2 years ago. And that's because it's based on human nature, not the latest best practices in policing or advocacy groups for parents of missing children. For instance, parents of missing children, if they're innocent, if they actually have no idea what happened to their kid, talk about their kid in the present tense. And that's because it's very hard to accept the death of a loved one unless you have proof of it. Secondly, we can expect them to be cooperative. So if the police or the media are asking them questions, they answer fully and candidly, whereas guilty parents typically choose their words more carefully, and they're usually more vague and reticent. Third, innocent parents are inconclusive about what happened if there's no evidence to suggest one scenario over another. In this case, if they actually found 2 boot tracks showing the kids walked into the woods, there's no way to say for sure that they must have been kidnapped or that an animal dragged them off, or any other scenario. They should be considering all possibilities. And that brings me to the 4th item on the checklist. If all possibilities are open, a kidnapping is also open. So typically, innocent parents look into camera and beg any kidnappers or anyone who might have their kid to please return them. Similarly, if the kid is old enough to watch TV themselves or Google themselves on a computer, they might look into camera and address the kid directly as well. Jack and Lily, being 4 and 6 years old, are probably too young for that, so I wouldn't expect Daniel to do that. Finally, we can expect innocent parents of missing children to directly ask the audience watching on TV for help, because that's the only point of doing the interview, to get help, to get information out there. If they do anything other than that, like try to push a narrative or try to construct their own alibi, we need to be suspect about that. And finally, there's a call to action, whether it's call 911 or some special tip line number that they've set up with the FBI, or in this case, whatever the Canadian equivalent is. And based on this short clip of him, he's already doing better than the kid's biological mother. He's asked for help. He's inconclusive about what happened, even though he seems to have some reason to heavily suspect that they are in the woods. That said, he's not out of the woods yet.
Did you hear that? At this point, he's measured both of them, and that we can watch yesterday's, because we're almost done this one already, and yesterday's is short if you want to compare, where he does the mom, and stepdad rather is scoring higher than mom. This isn't something I am thinking about if a small child is missing. Yeah. Well, we still get full body chills and see. I know, sweetie, you're absolutely right. I just think this is the solution. I think in a roundabout way it happened. Oh, Spirit agrees. Did you hear that little? Did you hear the little clamor behind me in my cup that I'm not touching? I think this is the answer to being able to do lives more frequently, because I felt so stuck with Sebastian, and connecting more often and not being able to channel every day is just not practical. So I think this is the way we're going to go. This is the way we're going to rock and roll. So for now, okay, we're having I'm going to keep going here. So anyways, we're gonna just mom's not doing well.
Yet because he hasn't addressed any potential kidnappers. And as I showed in the intro, he spoke about one of the kids in the past tense. That's coming up along with some other red flags. So let's keep listening.
I urge the public to come out if you have anything, come out as fast as possible and get it to any detachment or any police service that you have available to get to talk to. And Jack just absolutely loves bugs, dinosaurs, anything like that.
I know.
Lily loves girly things, but she also loves doing everything with Jack. Bugs, they're like best friends, not just brother and sister.
Lily loved. That's past tense about a kid who's only been missing for 4 days at the time of this interview. And this is such a reliable indicator of guilty knowledge that it's actually taught to police, and it's a card in the deception deck. My 52 favorite rules for spotting lies and manipulation. The card's on your screen now, but you probably already knew this rule of statement analysis and the famous example of Susan Smith. It's almost a meme at this point because it's so reliable. So does this mean that Daniel killed Lily or that he knows she's dead for a fact? Of course not, but it's one red flag among many red flags that we've seen in these two parents. And as I said at the end of my last video, my theory right now is that the kids wandered off because the parents were getting high or getting drunk or just being generally neglectful. So when they lie to us now about what happened, it's because they have attendant guilt, not necessarily that they committed some sort of first-degree murder. Although, to be fair, when I said that in that last video, I didn't know that the kids have been missing from school for an entire week. And I'm still holding out hope for the best. This is reminding me a lot of the Summer Wells case, which I'll link on the end card so you can see for yourself why. If you want to continue this series, let me know.
Yeah. It sure has some of the elements, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Let's just listen to another short one that he did yesterday on Mum. We're going to listen to this because it's always nice to have a different perspective other than my own.
I want to hold them and I want them home. What happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them. And they happened to just get out that sliding door, and we keep.
They happened to just get out. You're sleeping, ma'am. How do you know they just happened to get out the sliding door? I just find that so curious.
Can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't.
And again, how do you know? They don't seem like the type that have surveillance cameras. Do you think, y'all? Do you think?
Aware of it at the time.
That's Malaya Brooks Murray talking about her missing children. And for someone who doesn't know what happened, she seems to know a lot about what happened. So today's video, let's watch her interview and see if we can spot any guilty knowledge. I'm Deception Detective, an attorney trained in statement analysis. This channel exposes lies and manipulation. So if that's your thing, hit subscribe. For early access, exclusive videos, and other cool perks, consider becoming a channel member. Link in description. If you're not familiar with this case, don't worry because it's brand new. I only know about it because my lovely subscribers have asked me to cover it. So before we grab our deception decks and start analyzing, here's a quick recap.
The search for 2 missing children in rural Pictou County is now into its 5th day, and there's still no sign of 6-year-old Lily Sullivan and 4-year-old Jack Sullivan. The siblings went missing last Friday morning when it's believed they strayed from their home in Lansdowne Station. CBC's Preston Mulligan joins us now live from the search area with the latest on the efforts. Preston. Good evening, Tom. Well, as you said, yes, as we near the end of day 5 in the search for these 2 young children, sadly, there's still no good news report. The RCMP held a news conference a couple hours ago to give us an update. Basically, there's not.
It was yesterday. We did this in the live I did yesterday.
Not much else to say other than the search for Lily and her brother Jack continues here and around these woods and these deep woods in the Lansdowne area. Now, RCMP Search and Rescue are still working under the assumption that the 4- and 6-year-old wandered away from the home in Lansdowne, just south of New Glasgow on Friday morning. Today, some of the family members walked me through into that wooded area directly adjacent to where they live, maybe 20-second walk from the home into the woods. And as you walk into the woods, there's a little, kind of a tree fort, a little lean-to, and that's where the kids would play. And the family around there say they find it very hard to believe that given how thick the brush is on some of the steep banks around that area, and just the difficulty moving around if you sort of leave that trail, how difficult they find it to believe that they could have gone anywhere deeper than that into the woods.
And toppled with the fact they're 4 and 6 and mildly autistic. You saw that video we just played of Lily screaming. Very symptomatic of a child with autism when they're overwhelmed, from what I understand from people that I know that have children with autism, including the neighbor across the street. So yeah, and I've heard her child respond that way exactly. So yeah,
But
interesting.
No idea. I had no idea. I'm still searching every day. I'm waiting for information. I have to let them do a lot of their stuff with the aircrafts and everything else.
Okay, so that's the rundown. 2 toddlers disappear from their home in rural Canada, and that last voice you heard there was their stepfather. Which brings me to one final thing I want to go over before we start analyzing Malaya, and that's how I set my baseline whenever I start analyzing a brand new case. If you've been here for a while, you'll know that I'm a big proponent of Bayesian reasoning. In other words, our baseline is set at the statistically most likely scenario. In the case of missing children, one of the most likely scenarios is that they wandered off and got lost. So any evidence that suggests that theory will weigh heavily right away. But any evidence of something less likely, like a stranger kidnapping or a UFO abduction, will be really hesitant to weigh that evidence very heavily unless it's amazingly convincing evidence. And I know it might sound biased or unscientific, but it's actually one of the best frameworks for making predictions. And based on statistics about missing children, the exacerbating factor of a stepfather rather than a biological father in the home, and the strange statements this mother's making, I'm going into this already suspecting that the children probably wandered off. It might be worse, but I'm going to say probably wandered off, and that they might be lying about it because they were drugged up or neglectful or something of that ilk. All right, without further ado, let's listen.
I'm just staying as hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home. What happened was we woke up. I heard them playing in the next room beside us. And I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them. And they happened to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time.
We're off to a bad start, and that's because this mother is doing lots of the things that we've seen verified hoaxers do on the channel.
Yes,
I put the spot.
Yes, ma'am, it sure is. Very much so. Bear country. Probably no. But here, let's just ask what they might have fissures, which, do you know what a fissure is? Pictou County. I should call my girlfriend. She lives in Truro, where mom fled to. Wild animals. Let's just see what comes up. Okay, we have, so we got mammals, snowshoe, red squirrel, beaver, eastern coyote, and a fissure. So they do have fissures. That's not good. And black bear. And black bear is not good. Black bear is very bad. So like badger. Here, do you want to see it? I'll show you. I'll show you. I feel like calling my girlfriend and going out there. Yours truly doesn't have the money. So yeah, Pictou County, Nova Scotia is home to a variety of wild animals, including mammals like snowshoe hares, red squirrels, woodchucks, and beavers, birds like bald eagles, and various gulls species also known. Additionally, the county's diverse habitats support other wildlife like eastern coyotes and fishers, and those are aggressive. A fisher is, we used to get them when I lived in Muskoka in the mountains. They look, I'm not going to spend too much time on this so we can get back to fishers are extremely bold animals. Yeah. They will take down, well, they'll also take down a moose. We used to have them when I lived in Muskoka, north of Toronto, and they are known to be the fastest, most vicious and adaptive animals in modern day history. They can mimic a deer, and so they are in the tree. They look like a bobcat, a black bobcat without a tail. That's the best way to describe them. I'll pull up a picture in a second. But they will mimic an animal up in the tree, and then when the animal comes and like it's calling, like they will mimic their mating call to draw them in, and then jump on them from the tree, and they'll take down a deer, like a moose, like animals 3 and 4 times their size. They're just vicious. Yeah. Oh, do you, sweetie? Yeah. So fishers and coyotes and black bears are all very dangerous for those children. Very, very dangerous. I'll show you a picture, and then we will move on. Fisher cat, Nova Scotia. And it's this picture. Don't let it deceive you. Don't let it deceive you. They are not cute and friendly. Oh, so they do have a tail here. Why did I think they didn't have a tail? Maybe this is a different species, because I lived in Ontario. We have them, but we have the ones that don't have the tails. Primarily mainland, though they're not found in Cape Breton. Mainly found in Nova Scotia. Primarily carnivores, and its diet consists mainly of small mammals like mice, squirrels, voles, and shrews. Fishers are characterized by their dark brown or black coats and white hairs around the face, shoulders, and back, giving them a grizzled appearance. They have long, bushy tails and pointed faces. Behaviors are known to be solitary and avoid humans, making sightings infrequent. They are excellent climbers and can descend trees head first. I don't know if this is super accurate. I know I've had people try to keep their cats from dying and being attacked, and the fisher attacked them like a full-on human. So I don't know. They can be really vicious. Okay, let's get into this next video by Plunder, where we have some of the 911 calls to listen to.
Think about young children being missing this long. So now they're trying.
Based on the vote, and figure stuff out.
I'm wondering why. So Lilly and Jack Sullivan were last seen on Friday, May 2nd.
And a non-intrusive. Copy that. Portals.
Seen on Friday, May 2nd, 2025. So it's been 6 days. Today is Wednesday, May 7th. And that's kind of scary to think about. Young children being missing this long. So now they're trying to put the pieces together on Friday morning. I've heard so many conflicting reports. As you'll hear, or you might have just heard, one dispatcher is saying they were last seen at 8 a.m.
In the bedroom, we called this morning and they haven't been seen since then. I need to get a good statement and figure stuff out. Call from McGinnis, can you copy there? I think your portal's spotty. Was that you I heard on here that was going to do a search of the residence again?
Audio.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. They were going to do the property and the residence again.
Copy that.
Property and the residence again. Copy. And just for everyone's awareness, based on the profile, the children could have traveled at least 6 kilometers. So keep that in mind.
Sergeant Young, for your awareness there, media release has been put out and a non-intrusive alert has been sent out to Pictou County.
Perfect, thank you.
At 8 o'clock a.m. that morning, I've heard that reported twice throughout this dispatch, Friday, May 2nd, but then trying to piece together other reports claim the children were last seen at 10 a.m. I don't know where the confusion is coming in, but this happened at the home of these two people you're about to meet. You're going to see their interviews, the mom and the stepdad, who really isn't a stepdad. The mom calls him her partner.
Just staying as hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home. As possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home. What happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them. And they happened to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew, it was quiet. And we get up and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call.
Oh, shit. I played that whole thing in the background and I was muted. Y'all, I'm so sorry. Son of a bugger. Okay, here we go. Oh my God.
Copy that.
Property in the resident stands for copy. Just for everyone's awareness, based on the profile, the children could have traveled at least 6 kilometers.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
keep that in mind.
Thank you, Tracy.
Sergeant Young, for your awareness, their media release has been put out in a non-intrusive alert to the affected family.
Perfect, thank you.
At 8:00 a.m. that morning, I've heard that reported twice throughout this dispatch, Friday, May 2nd, but then trying to piece together other reports claim the children were last seen at 10 a.m. I don't know where the confusion is coming in, but this happened at the home of these two people you're about to meet. You're going to see their image.
They look different. They look so cute and innocent in this picture. Definitely different impression after you see where they live and how they live. I don't know.
Interviews the mom and the stepdad, who really isn't a stepdad. The mom calls him her partner.
I'm just staying as hopeful as possible. I want them home. I want to hold them.
Yes.
And I want them home. As possible. I want them home. I want to hold them. And I want them home. What happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them. And they happened to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew, it was quiet. And we get up, and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, "Do you hear the kids?" And he says, "No." And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call. They're both really go-lucky children. They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off. They will speak to anyone.
Talking to anybody doesn't sound super like positive, right? Not in my vision. They didn't seem to be afraid of the person that was walking, leading them in the vision I was
in a
given.
Store, everyone. They're just
although I feel like they knew that person, to be clear.
Extremely sweet kids. I appreciate the huge search effort going on right now, but we've been pushing for an Amber Alert, which hasn't been issued. Exactly. Not just that they could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility that they could have been, but just an alert to let everyone know that they are missing. We had people text me saying that they weren't aware someone else let them know that they were missing, and it would just be nice if everyone could be alerted. We thought maybe that we found tracks, but it's still uncertain. It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet, but with the sun today, I'm hopeful that they are feeling warm. We're all filled with pain and sorrow because we just want them found. We want them home. Everyone loves them. They are definitely verbal, and they do have possible autism, but it's not extreme autism. It's just they have issues with school, and they don't catch up with the other kids. I just want to remain hopeful. But there's always, in a mother's mind, you're always thinking the worst. Last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't have them in their beds. And I don't want to go through that another night without them.
So unfortunately,
y'all, very sad. Very sad. Very sad. How are y'all feeling? Do we want to have one more video? What do you all feel like? Been at it. Welcome in. The little boy looks like he's the one that's mischievous. The older sister looks like she's the boss. Yeah, I get that kind of vibe too. I get that vibe too. Oh man, oh man. I think we'll do one more and then I'm gonna call it a night because I am tired. But I can be here tired, just not reading. Just not reading. let's watch the rest of this. His evaluation, never a truer word. It's half an hour long, and then we'll call it a night because he takes apart what the interview is that we just saw of mom and breaks down the language. We've watched him before on this channel, and I like his work too.
Which are very likely significant to the person talking. With all that in mind, let's have a listen to what the mother has to say.
What happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep. And they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them. And they happened to just get out that sliding door, and we can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time. And the next thing we knew, it was quiet. And we get up, and I tell him, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. And we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. And I instantly just call 911. I just had
I also just wanted to say, deceptive detective, I forgot to highlight. Remember when I did my reading yesterday that I said, I think they both have guilty knowledge, but Spirit's focusing on mom. And then he said, after we watched these two interviews, if you came in late, go back and watch them, because we did his comment, short 9-minute video of dad's interview, and then the 11-minute one of mom. And he said mom scores worse than dad. So it's also interesting now that we are instantly. What do you mean, sweetie? You got to spell it out for me. Yes, let's get to 100 likes. Thank you, Kitty. Anyways, it's just interesting that everybody seems to feel more that the police were told the mom to leave the house. I don't know. It seems like maybe I'm not the only one. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's kind of more focused in on mom. I don't know.
instinct I needed to call.
There is so much that concerns me in that set of words. We don't know the questions that are asked to get the responses here. They've been edited out. But when she starts by saying what happened was we woke up, the question was very likely something like what happened. And the answer to the question what happened can be very revealing, especially where the answer starts. It reveals to that person who's talking where they think the story starts. And to her, it's when she woke up or when we woke up.
Did P not use those terms instantly? Am I mistaken? Does that sound familiar? It feels familiar.
Is when the story starts. And I'm going to point this out first of all. How often in that answer she talks about we rather than herself. So what happened was we woke up. They were playing in the room beside us. We tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them. And then there's a sliding door, which we can't hear it when it opens. We weren't aware of at the time that they were playing outside. The next thing we knew, it was quiet. She carries on and talks about we get up instantly. We're looking outside. We're looking everywhere. And then she talks about calling 911, which she does on her own. Now, one of the things that I notice often in deception is when two people get together to concoct a false story, something they haven't experienced. They talk about, well, we did this and then we did that. So that's the story we're going to tell. And then when the story comes out, the person telling it doesn't tell the story from their point of view, which is what you do when you're telling your authentic experience, but they're telling it from the point of view of we, using the pronoun we and us there, because the story's made up. It's about, they're getting the story straight, if you like. That's what's happening here. I'm going to take everything we as potentially constructed here, and then look at what she owns by saying I, and using the pronoun I heard them playing in the next room. I was drifting in and out of sleep. So I believe she heard them in the next room. I believe she was drifting in and out of sleep. Interestingly, she talks about when we woke up, but it was I drifting in and out of sleep. So was her partner fully awake all the time? But I believe those things because she's saying she owns them. But then she says, I tell them, do you hear the kids? And he says no. So she takes some ownership of that, and she takes ownership of calling 911 as well. I instantly just called 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call. So those things where she has I believe, it's going to be really provable whether she called 911 or not. And also she heard them playing in the next room. I believe that. What else do I get? I get a sense of casualness in there as well. I was drifting in and out of sleep, and also they just happened to get out the sliding door. There's a sense of some casualness going on there. Now, is that something to do with the parenting skills? Because she says, what happened was we woke up and I heard them in the next room beside us. I was drifting in and out of sleep. And then she goes on to tell us what great parents they are. Before telling us about the children going missing or discovering the children were missing at all, she feels the need to persuade us of how good the parenting skills she has are. are, that suggests to me potentially that the parenting skills are somewhat lacking or were somewhat lacking at this point, because she wants to tell us what great parents they are with these phrases. They're not the type of kids we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them, watching them. Why that need to persuade us of how solid their parenting skills are. Also, we tell them not to go outside on their own is very different from they do not go outside on their own. You'll notice that as well. Listen, she heard them playing in the next room beside us, and she mentions playing again. They were outside playing, so playing.
It's like, I know when she said it sounded odd, but I hadn't pieced it together until he just said what was odd about it. Like, instead of saying we tell them not to go outside on their own, or she said rather, we tell them not to go outside on their own, but she doesn't say they don't go outside on their own, which is a very good point.
Is a repeated concept here. Why is that? What were they just playing? Or is this again to reinforce the sort of happiness inside the house that these kids were playing away? They were playing in the next room, they were outside playing. Interesting. We will come to why I doubt that maybe she was aware that some playing was going on. A bit of a mismatch here. She says, first of all, we woke up. And then she says, I was drifting in and out of sleep. Well, you notice I did point out it's we woke up. That's the pair of them, her and her partner. But then only I herself was drifting in and out of sleep. But also a bit of a mismatch there. When you wake up, typically you're talking about being awake, being like fully alert and awake. Not, you don't say you wake up and then drifting out and in and out of sleep. It's just a bit of a mismatch. It feels to me like it might be slightly out of time. They just happened to get out the sliding door. It's the sliding door that is getting the blame for this, and we can't hear it when it opens, and they were outside playing. I want to know how she knew they were outside playing, because you can't hear the door open. It's not very clear. It could be that what she thought was the kids playing next door was the kids outside playing, potentially. But it's not very clear at all what's happened there, and how she knows they just happened to just get out that sliding door, that word just there, indicating, oh, they just got out the door. Don't look too closely into this. It's a really simple thing. They just got out the door. Also, logically, and again, this goes to me that maybe there's some neglect going on here. Why was the sliding door unlocked? Why were the children able to get out if you were asleep? I believe this happened in a rural place. Maybe locking doors is not quite the done thing there, but you've got two kids at very young ages and also very mobile, obviously. So would you not consider locking your sliding door that they can get out, because we can't hear it when it opens? The sliding door part, I do not like. She says, we weren't aware of it at the time, and the next thing we knew, it was quiet. Now, there's a jump in time there. There's something went on there, and it was quiet. She then introduces Daniel, who she realizes that she hasn't introduced. I tell him, and then she goes, my partner, Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? Interesting misspeak there. It's not I ask him, do you hear the kids? I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. And we get up instantly, and we are looking outside. Now, that word instantly is interesting. Why not just tell us we got up to look outside? Why did she have to tell us that there's soon?
I mean, I guess it depends on the level of drugs. Like, you know, are we talking pot? Pot's legal in Canada, you know? So are we talking pot, or are we talking what the neighbor is claiming, like crack? You know, to me, pot is like drinking beer, you know, or wine or whatever. It depends on how much you do it. Is it a pastime, hobby? That's different. But I get the impression, if we're to believe the text that was shown in the Joseph Morris video, that was the neighbor. They were into hard drugs. You're going to, oh, I thought that said night. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's not a matter of being poor or unfortunate. Thank you, Butterfly Lady. Everybody do the likies, please. That would be great. There's 93 of you now. There was 100 and some earlier. That'd be awesome. Anyways, yeah, I'm trying not to be judgmental, but it just looks like all around neglect and just, yeah. Anyway, let's keep watching. We're going to finish this up and then we'll be done for the night. And then tomorrow, just a reminder, I'm going to do, because I was too tired to do readings today and just tap into the energy, because I couldn't sleep last night after last night's live and Karen read all day. So I'm going to come on at 3 to 5 and do Lily and Jack, and then we're going to roll into, I'll change streams because they're two separate streams if you don't want to join both, but I've got that one forwarded if you want to stay on for the 5 o'clock Q&A, and where I'm just going to tell you how a lot of people are confused on how and have questions on how we work, how we get information and everything else. So 7 more. Yeah, there's 94 people now. So yeah, 30, 20, 26. Good night, Carrie Danielle. Thank you, sweetie. We're almost wrapped up here.
Let's go see
as
everybody
not she couldn't hear
tomorrow.
the kids, but as soon as Daniel couldn't hear the kids, they got up instantly. I think there's a jump in time here. There's a time lag between the kids being known to be missing and them looking for the kids and calling 911.
Thank you,
We're
everybody.
looking outside, we're looking everywhere, yelling for them, and I
Everybody,
instantly just call 911. So we've got just in there, and we have instantly again. So this makes me think that between them knowing the kids were missing and 911 being involved,
we do want to get their names out there. We do want this to go wide, you know, viral, because we don't know where they are exactly, and we want to make sure. And when you like it, the algorithm picks it up and YouTube spreads it out to more people. So we do want this case to get out there. So
there is a lag in time going on here. And then she said she excuses why she called 911. She's noticed her kids are missing. They're not in the house. They're not outside. And yet she has to excuse and persuade us why she called 911. I just had the instinct that I needed to call. Not 100% certain on that. Now look at the present tense here as well. She says, we weren't aware of it at the time, which is past tense. And then she says it was quiet, which is past tense. And then it goes present tense, which is not expected when someone is relaying past events. So we weren't aware of it at the time. The next thing we knew, it was quiet. And we get up and I tell him, my partner Daniel, I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. We get up instantly. We are looking outside. We're looking everywhere, yelling for them. I instantly just call 911. Present tense. Why is that present tense there? That is all extremely concerning for me there. So we've got the present tense. So listen, here I think we've got a constructed story going on. There are so many elements of a constructed story. Some of it just logically doesn't hang together, which is when we construct a story, it's so hard to cover off every single angle. It's much easier to tell the truth. There's the need to persuade that they've got solid parenting and the need to show quick.
Oh, and by the way, hope everybody will be able to get there tomorrow at 3. If I'm running late and I change the time, look out for that, just because I'm going to be out with my daughter looking for dress for a wedding that she has to go to in June, and taking Rory to and looking for their dresses tomorrow. So when I get back, I will go live, but I'm going to start the live off doing a meditation. So we're all going to tap in and we're all going to do meditation. If you want to be there on time, if you want to be there for that, you'll want to be there at 3. Okay.
Reaction. So what I've got from that very first minute or so of the interview, I feel she's not telling the truth. I think she's telling a constructed version of events. She has an extreme need to persuade us that they are good parents, which makes me think there's a bit of neglect going on, because that was the first thing she really said before talking about her children being missing, which should be the hugest priority for her. Instead, it's saying what great parents we are. And I need to show a quick reaction, which I think means there was a lag between these children going missing and between the fact when the authorities were alerted. It's not on video, but I did find a quote in the press from Daniel, the partner, as well. Dan says, when we noticed that the children were gone, I immediately jumped in my vehicle, surveyed all the areas, many dirt roads, many culverts as I could, and I waited for the police to get there. Now, here we have very similar construction to what we have from the mum, which is we noticed the children were gone. So this is a joint ownership of this. We noticed that the children were gone. I immediately jumped in the vehicle. So there's a sense there again of, it's not just I jumped in the vehicle and surveyed all the areas. It is I immediately did it, which again just adds me thinking that they did not alert the authorities as soon as these children were missing. He owns jumping in the vehicle. He owns searching for as many culverts as I could. And then he says, he says he surveyed all the areas, many dirt roads, many culverts. Surveyed? Interesting choice of words there. Not searched or anything like that, just surveyed. Searched is trying to find something. Surveying is just sitting back and looking at something and waiting for the police to get there. May well be very true, but it's as if he made sure, or
that's a really good point. The word survey
is very aware that he was not at the house.
A drone
when the police arrived. Let's listen to some more from the mother now.
They're both really go-lucky children. They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off. They will speak to anyone in a store. Everyone.
Oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you.
Extremely sweet kids.
So she says they're both really go-lucky children.
These are really cute kids. This is
they're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off. They will speak to anyone in the store. That everyone. They're just extremely sweet kids. Now, the very first thing I've got in this is something reassuring. Having said not a lot on that first excerpt, she is talking about the children in the present tense.
What do you mean? He says he's weak. He said he was in water waist deep. What are you? Can you elaborate what that means, hon?
It's not the past tense, which would make me think she is aware or psychologically thinks that something very bad has happened to them. She talks about them in the present tense. They are both really go-lucky children. They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They will talk your ear off. They will speak to anyone. They're just extremely sweet kids. All present tense. There's a little bit of reassurance there for me. And then there's some other stuff. They're both really go-lucky children is the first thing she says when she's talking about them. Really is persuasive. She wants to get across that these kids, she loves them and they are great. And she's trying to persuade us about how much that she feels that with the word really. They're really go-lucky children.
Oh, thank you.
The phrase is happy-go-lucky, but she's taken the happy out. Look, we all misspeak. I will do it in the course of this episode for sure. But interesting that happy is the thing that has been dropped and they are just go-lucky children. And then she talks about how much the children talk. They'll talk your ear off. Now, I don't like that because it's a bit derogatory about these missing children, and I would expect her to maybe be a little bit nicer. It may be the truth, but this is a bit derogatory about children that are missing. They'll talk your ear off. Got a comment on that. And they will speak to anyone in a store. So again, we've got this idea that the children are talking. I'm interested in why they...
I hope he feels better. Night, thank you. Prayers for him. Back tomorrow. That sounds good, sweetie. So, okay, sounds good. Perfect. Have a good night. I hope he feels better. Okay, we're almost done, everybody, and I'm nodding off too.
They will speak to anyone in a store, and not anyone. You know, why is it only in a store that she is mentioning this? Again, is this neglectful? Is this the only place the children go? They don't play with friends or, you know, anything like that. It's just they will speak to anyone in a store, not speak to anyone at school, speak to just anyone, family, friends, strangers. No, they will speak to anyone. And again, we've got this persuasive. They're just extremely sweet kids. But there was a repeated concept here. When she talks about how nice the children are, she talks about how talkative the children are. Why is that the thing that she mentions most about them? Well, one of those things could be that she thinks they are very trusting of strangers. They'll talk to anyone. Therefore, she might think it's likely that there's been some sort of stranger abduction. That would all make sense. But I've got another thing here. They'll talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off. They will speak to anyone in the store. 3 times there, she mentions how much they'll talk. Let's go back to the first description and look at how much noise comes into that first description. I heard them playing in the next room, is what she said. You can't hear the sliding door, she says. But then the next thing we knew, it was quiet. I tell him, do you hear the kids? And he says, no. So we have lots of talk. And also they were yelling for them everywhere. So lots of speech about how much the kids talk, about noise and quiet. Makes me wonder, number one, was there an issue with the kids talking? Is this what... got something going on? For example, was she trying to sleep and these kids were making a lot of noise and she yelled at them, shut up, and the kids ran off because they didn't like it? Or worse, you can see where my mind's going with that one. Or when she talks about just how much these kids will speak to anyone, was that a worry? I've already picked up potential neglect in this household. Potential neglect, it's just my opinion. I could be wrong, and please, I hope I am wrong. But were the kids talking, or was she frightened that the kids...
I think we all feel, I think that's the one thing most people really can say without a doubt. Well, in my opinion, allegedly, that we all feel at least that there looks like there's a great potential of neglect here.
Going to talk to someone to someone in a store, or just anyone, because these kids will talk to anyone about what was happening inside the house. So in that part there, I do have that reassuring thing that she's talking about them in the present tense, not in the past tense, but there's a real focus on talking, and the juxtaposition with when the kids were no longer there, how quiet it was. That seems to be a very big thing for her. It's not her kids are missing, but it's that the noise has stopped. That seems really interesting to me. If you want to get more, then please subscribe to this channel. That means you will get episodes like this as soon as...
This is, for those of you that don't know, never a truer word. We've listened to him before. I quite like his stuff.
More from the mother of these missing children.
I appreciate the huge search effort going on right now, but we've been pushing for an Amber Alert, which hasn't been issued. Not just that they could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility that they could have been, but just an alert to let everyone know that they are missing. We had people text me saying that they weren't aware, someone else let them know that they were missing, and it would just be nice if everyone could be alerted.
Okay, I've got some more that worries me there, I'm afraid. She said, I appreciate the huge search effort going on right now, but we've been pushing for an Amber Alert, which hasn't been issued. Not just that they could possibly be abducted, which is a possibility. She doesn't seem to really think it's a possibility, does it? They could possibly be abducted, which is a possibility. Her mind seems to be very much on the fact that these kids haven't been abducted. Potentially that's because she thinks they've wandered off. Perhaps that's because she knows differently. But also remember that juxtaposition with the strangers. I felt that she was saying they would talk to anyone in a way that meant you possibly could have just talked to a stranger's talked to them, and all of a sudden they've been abducted. But she doesn't seem really to think that abduction is a possibility. And then there's an interesting bit of focus here. It sounds like she wants the word to get out there to absolutely everyone, which is what a concerned mother of children should do. But she doesn't verbalize it in that this is to help the kids be found. The end point for her is letting everyone know they are missing, not let everyone know they're missing so that more people can be searching for them, so that they can be found, so that they can come home. No, the concern is for herself at her end that they are missing. If you think about the concern for the kids are not missing to the kids know where they are. She doesn't seem to want them to be found in those words. She wants people to know that they are missing. We've had people text me saying that they weren't aware, someone else let them know that they were missing, and it would just be nice if everyone could be alerted. Nice, vital. I would think that as many people were looking for your kids as possible. However, she just thinks it would be nice if everyone could be
That's a great point.
alerted. So in that
I shouldn't laugh, but when he puts it that way, it does make it sound ridiculous.
section there, listen, she wants the word out that they're missing, not so much that she wants them searched for or that she wants them found. She does appreciate the search effort, but really she wants the word to get out there that they are missing. And also she seems to think abduction for some reason is a low possibility. Let's hear some more from her.
We thought maybe that we found tracks, but it's still uncertain. It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet, but with the sun today, I'm hopeful that they are feeling warm.
Okay, so there. We thought maybe that we found tracks, but it's still uncertain. It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet, but with the sun today, I'm hopeful that they're feeling warm.
Yeah, I just have to say before we hear what he has to say, that is also a strange expression. I hope that they are feeling warm. I hope that they're warm, they're hydrated, they've eaten, they're safe, they're sheltered, but that they are feeling warm is just, what's the feeling about? Very weird.
She really thinks they're outside. She does not have in her head the possibility that these kids are inside. Why is that? It's a rural area, so maybe it's more likely that if they wandered off, they are going to be outside.
I put it to 1.25. That's one of the things sometimes you have to do to prevent somebody from, you can lower it on your end if you want a little bit. It's only 1.25, but it prevents somebody from claiming a copyright strike against me. Really? It's that fast? Okay, I'll lower it now because we're almost done. He does talk quickly, so he's probably not somebody that makes it easy to do that. But we have 8 minutes left.
But again, she doesn't think they've been abducted, because if they were abducted, then the rain may not have affected them, and the sun would also not be affecting them. So for some reason, she really thinks these two kids are outside. It's almost a certainty in her head here that these kids are outside. And I'll also notice there in this that there is function, not emotion. It's been raining. They're probably soaking wet. Function. With the sun today, function. I'm hoping they are feeling warm. Function. There is no emotion. I'm worried to death about them because they are outside. It's been raining. Oh, they're going to be suffering because if they're outside, they're going to be soaking wet, and that's going to be horrible for them. Today, I'm hoping they're maybe a bit happier because they're feeling warm, or I'm less concerned because it's sunny today. So, hopefully they'll be able to dry out and be a little bit more comfortable where they are. There's no emotion in there whatsoever. Here's some.
And also, and I'm speeding it up again for a little bit, if that's okay. No worries, sweetie. It's all good. It's all good. I don't mind stopping it once in a little, like regular speed once in a while. You just have to adjust it enough to otherwise not get a strike. And that's fair, but that's what fair use is about, which is anyway, the YouTube thing. But she also talks about like them being warm, but nowhere there does she talk about them feeling safe, them having food and water, and not just and shelter, and oh my God, they must be scared to death. And it's just so bizarre. Like it's a weird thing to raise of all the things that she could have talked about. It's odd.
Some more from the mum.
We're all filled with pain and sorrow because we just want them found.
So sounds like we're all filled with pain and sorrow because like it's not worry. It's not, we're all terrified and worried for them. And we're all filled with pain and sorrow. Sounds like you're describing a mourning, not a worrying.
We want them home. Everyone loves them. They are definitely verbal, and
Yeah.
they do have possible autism, but it's not extreme autism. It's just they have issues with school, and they don't catch up with the other kids. I just want to remain hopeful. But there's always, in a mother's mind, you're always thinking.
There's always what? It's almost like she was going to say, but then there's always the memory of what really happened.
The worst. Last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't have them in their beds. And I don't want to go through that another night without them.
Okay, more that worries me there. She starts off that section by saying, we're all filled with pain and sorrow because we just want them found. We want them home. Everyone loves them. And you'll see that she's not talking directly for herself there. This is all about we, a sort of more general sense than herself. We are all filled with pain and sorrow because we just want them found. We want them home. Everyone loves them. She's not talking for herself. I'm full of pain and sorrow because
she also has no tears and no real emotion.
I want them found. I want them home. I love them.
In my opinion, allegedly.
That's not there at all. Slightly more distant by talking about we and everyone. Now, I believe that the next part, which is they are definitely verbal and they do have possible autism, is because word got out that these kids were non-verbal autistic, which would be massively concerning. That 2 non-verbal kids had gone missing. That would really be concerning. Not that 2 kids who are verbal going missing is not concerning, but she wants to correct that for some reason. They are definitely verbal and they do have possible autism, but it's not extreme autism. It's just they have issues with school and they don't catch up with other kids. So they are definitely verbal. So we have once more this thought of them talking and making sound, which is really, really a theme that has just come through in almost everything she said. They are definitely verbal. They do have possible autism, but it's not extreme autism. It's just, we've got that word just focus down on this little thing and don't look too wide. It's just they have issues with school and they don't catch up with the other kids. Again, that seems slightly derogatory about these kids. Autistic kids do have problems with school, but also have other qualities which are not something you could be derogatory about. I know when I talk to people about autistic kids, they're super smart. They're really, really intelligent, such quick learners. Those are things that could be said, but we're talking about the negative effects here. And they don't catch up with other kids. It feels to me like she's seeing her kids in a race with other kids. If you've got autistic kids, they're in a lane all of their own. They're living a very different life. You don't expect them to catch up with other kids at all. That's interesting choice of words there. She says, I just want to remain hopeful, which suggests that she's not hopeful. I just want to remain hopeful, and that remain as well suggests there is no hope.
But then again, in fairness to her in this comment, the police did say that they're, the likelihood that if they are outside, that they are alive at this point, and that was in the live yesterday. So this interview was taken much earlier, but so I guess that, it's not quite as relevant as if this was a statement she made yesterday, because the police have said the chances that they're alive are pretty slim at this point if they are outside. But then again, this interview was days earlier, so I don't know.
There, but there's always, in a mother's mind, you're always thinking the worst. And again, she's not talking for herself. It's just in a mother's mind. It's not in her mind. And you're always thinking the worst, not she is thinking the worst here. So she doesn't seem very hopeful here. And once again, she's distancing and not giving us her feelings on the matter. Then she says, last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't have them in their beds and I don't want them to go through that another night without them. Who's the concern for here? I said I was looking out for where she's concerned. Her concern there is with herself. There's no concern expressed at all for the children. Not even when she said it was raining. She didn't express any concern specifically towards the 2 missing children. Last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't have them in their beds. Not last night was one of the worst nights because they were not in their beds. It's I didn't have them in their beds. Concern for herself. I don't want to go through another night without them. These kids are missing. She thinks they're out in the open. She has said that in her words. And yet her concern is not what her kids are feeling, it's what she's feeling. She doesn't want to go through another night like that. She's not concerned, in her words, she's not concerned about the kids there. It's a concern for self. And here, in all of this, I see a massive concern for self. One reason, and this is just one reason, but it's a very probable reason, when people have concern for self in their language and not concern for others, is when addiction is involved and the focus all turns inwards on one's self. And that's what could be going on here. But listen, in all of this, missing, really, really missing, is any concern for the children. As we've gone through her words in this interview that she's given, I see no concern for Lily and for Jack. That's a real worrying sign for me. So that is what the mother has to say. What do I think? Look, I think in the words, there is possibly neglect happening in that household. I got that from her need to explain what great parents they were. Possible addiction going on there as well. Maybe the addiction leads to neglect. She believes they are outside. It's quite fixed in her mind they are outside. Now, talking or their nature of talking was a big issue. It could be that they just were so loud and interrupting her sleep that she was drifting in and out of, that there was an issue there. Like I said, it could be the kids ran away because they were snapped at, or it could be that someone decided that this talking had to stop, or it could be that this addiction and this neglect, there is a worry there that the kids were going to talk to anyone else. That's my conclusions. That's my opinions. I hope and pray I am wrong about.
So very interesting. Very interesting. Because what I find interesting, I like him too, Donna. We have played him before on this channel. And what I find super interesting is the consistency. The consistency between deceptive detective on both the parents, the consistency with what we saw from this gentleman, the consistency with my reading, and the consistency with the comments from the parents that Joseph Morris showed, or neighbors rather. Like it's interesting this early on that there's very similar themes running through, theories, if you will, right? Yeah, Lilly is a screamer. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point. That's one thing that he picked up on that has not been spoken of by anybody else, I think, is that's the screaming element that, she uses a lot of language that suggests the verbalizing, their ability to verbalize, that maybe there's something that if the kids did, sorry, let me finish my thought, that maybe that was an annoyance to stepdad or her, right? That absolutely could be a factor. Because we heard, and Joseph Morris posted the picture earlier we showed of her, screaming, which a lot of autistic kids do when they're in overwhelm, but it's a really high pitched shrill, and it would be, let's not kid ourselves, it would be a challenge to listen to that a lot. So if the kids did wander off, I believe they would have been found, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm hoping that they find these kids, but anyways, we're going to wrap it for now. We're 2 hours and 4 minutes into the stream. Thank you, everybody, for joining, considering it was the last minute. I moved the reading to tomorrow because I was too tired today. So this is what we're going to do. I think this is our new case. We're going to try to do live streams almost every day, but I won't be able to on this weekend on one of the nights. I'm not sure yet. I think for Saturday night because I have my grandson. And then it's Mother's Day Sunday, so it might be Mother's Day night, Sunday night. We'll see, but it might be I'm not sure yet, but all that to say, this will be the new case. I'll do some Karen Reed when I can. I'm going to do some Karen Reed when I can because I like the Karen Reed case still. I just don't want to overdo it, so I have to figure out that part of it. But we're going to do alternate like we did tonight, where if I'm on days I'm tired, I'm not feeling up to doing readings, we'll just get caught up in the other parts of the case from other YouTubers and theories. You're welcome, Tina girl. You're welcome, honey. Thank you for being here. And then on the days that I'm not too tired, like today, and I can do a reading, or if I have a channeling session, like I do want to, that's why I want to open up meditating. And so it's going to be a little bit different tomorrow because I'm going to try to really open up by meditating. So I'm in the zone, see if I can channel, get some pullings, and then I'll go to the chat. So I really need the mods, Donna, and whoever's here tomorrow to help in the chat, because I'm not going to answer your questions because I don't want to get out of focus. I want to be tuned in so I can get a clearer reading. And so I'm just going to change that around a little bit. So good night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 for Lily and Jack and 5 for any Q&A. Okay. Thank you for being here. Love and light, everyone. Love and light.